me is Jacob Suomi. He's going to be sitting in here for the women's game. And don't worry, Patrick McGann will be back for the men's games later on. Okay, this is the game 2 in a 2-game series. Utah is hosting the University of Colorado Buffaloes. And, of course, the Skating Utes women last night defeated the Buffaloes. So they're 1-up on the series, and I'm sure that Colorado is going to be looking for some payback, right, Jacob?
This is definitely going to be a different game. We saw both teams in the third period get a little bit more comfortable, and so I think both teams now get a feel for who each other is, and it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's run through starting lineups real quickly as our announcer's doing the same. Of course, Colorado will be defending the goal on your right on screen, and Utah will be defending the goals on the left. The starting lineup for the Buffs is going to be at forward. It'll be Jessica Sandstrom, number 19, Jordan Bonk, number 17, and I can't quite see my screen very well. Brianna Ahrens, number 14, and holding the defense will be Ashley Rouse and Lauren Raymond. In goal for the Buffs, same as last night, it'll be Andy Beerbaum, excuse me. And for the Utes, the starters are going to be Hallie Hansen, Amal Eichel, and Eileen Eichel. On our forward line, our defenders are going to be Izzy Hendry, and I can't read my screen, I'm so sorry, it's very small. In goal will be Sam Griswold. And I apologize for that, I'm looking at my phone, it's very small. I'm sorry, we have Ava Kistner, who's also listed. I think she's a forward, so I think it might be one of the Eichels is actually going to be playing defense, although she's listed as a forward. And we are going to take a quick break for the national anthem, and we will be right back for the start of the game. All right, and the teams are lining up. The other thing I wanted to point out, folks, is today is specially jersey and specially limited edition gear day. We've got a bunch of fundraisers going on for all the teams, for the women's one, the men's one, and the men's two. The women are wearing limited edition jerseys. You can see we've got the pink ribbon on them. It's for breast cancer awareness and research, and we'll be doing some fundraising for that by having these jerseys available for silent auction. You can either put I believe you can put your bid on here at the table near the front entrance here at the rink. We also have available some limited edition gear. We have pucks, caps, and I believe other gear. You can also buy those at the table, and you can also buy those online. So not the jerseys, but the other limited edition pieces for today's games is available online. Just go to the Utah Hockey website and find the article that's talking about Specialty Jersey Day. You should find some links in there. We're about to drop the puck. Oh, and also, it's pretty cool. Our officials are wearing pink and black striped jerseys as well today. Got a rowdy bunch here, and we are off. Ava Kistner wins the draw. She skates it in right off the bat from the circle. Wrist shot goes wide, deflected in to the back of the net. Or, sorry, the back of the net, behind the net. Don't want to get that confused. Still fighting for the puck behind the net, along the boards. She does get it out. Amal Eichel able to keep it in to, Eileen Eichel able to keep it in to Amal Eichel. I apologize, we're going to have two Eichel sisters on the ice at the same time, so I'm going to try and keep them straight. I know, just to keep me on my toes, I guess.
This is a very controlled attack from Utah. Ever since we dropped the puck. It's been right in the zone here for Utah. And that one,
wow, a bit of a scramble.
There's a goal.
It went in. It went in. You know, it was interesting because everybody was kind of standing around looking, not really knowing what was going on for a bit there. And then we saw the hug. I think you caught the hug, and then sure enough.
Yeah, we heard the Utah bench kind of erupt.
Right,
and
right.
They wouldn't erupt unless there was something significant.
Yeah, exactly, something going on. Well, and the goalie was still looking around because she couldn't see the puck. And we could not from here see that it had crossed the line. So sure enough, Utah gets on the board at 19-13 in the first period.
Here's Colorado with an attack. Well, there's a shove down there.
Oh, wow. Somebody down the ice. Looks like she's going to be okay. She's going to be getting back up to her feet.
Ever since the puck dropped, Utah had a strong grasp on possession, and we saw that. And the Utes very early, this must have been strategy with the game plan from Braden Yeo. Just get out there and attack, get on the board early. Yesterday, we didn't see a goal until third period. I think strategy today is just attack, attack, attack.
Right, and I think that's an excellent summary of, you know, now that both teams have had a chance to play against each other, Braden Yeo, that gives her even more tools to set up the strategy, and apparently it was a pretty successful one. Now that goal was scored by Ava Kistner, number 14, assisted by Camden Harris and Hallie Hansen. All right, now here comes Colorado. Henderson ends up getting tied up behind the net. And
Utah dumps it in and changes
go
lines.
for a line change, yep. Now here comes Colorado. Up to number 4, that's Furla. She gets hung up at the blue line. The puck pops back out, but then she gets it back in. She dumps it back into the corner. It's going to get scooped up there by Fish, who passes up to, looks like it was Carrick, but she gets spun around and the puck comes loose, but then it gets scooped up again, and it looks like that's going to be
the speed.
Absolutely.
Right in the middle there.
Hansen, and I think she was trying to get it back out to Kistner, but it got poked loose. Hansen scoops it back up again, recovers. Tries to get a centering pass. It gets picked off, though, by number 11, McCloskey. She tries to carry it up, but she loses the puck. Lambert and Colorado scoops it up, and Colorado starts the play in their own zone, tries to get it forward, and intercepted by Utah.
Hansen looks like the most refreshed person out there for either squad. She's certainly the quickest and the most aggressive, as you saw Utah turn the puck over a little bit but then got it back because of her aggressiveness. That's something we saw yesterday. Utah much more aggressive than Colorado.
Right, and it's kind of like, just picking up from where they left off last night. And Hansen definitely one of our top high-scoring players on the women's team, along with Kistner. And Utah still fighting for the puck, and it finally gets picked off by McCloskey. She sends it up to Furla, but Furla loses the handle on it. It comes back into the Colorado zone. They're really having trouble kind of getting their offense mounted.
Yeah, you can see that. And even on this break here, it doesn't look as organized as maybe Utah's are.
Right, and just as we say that, here comes Ahrens across the blue line. She ends up behind the net, into the corner. She's got room to skate, skates through the circle, tries to do a backhander, but it gets deflected. I think she heard you. You must have pissed her off or something.
It was a nice move there, too.
It was a very nice move.
Just couldn't get enough power on the shot to
actually, right, to get it to go where she wanted to. I'm sure that she meant for it to go a little further than that. All right, so now Colorado picks it up in their own zone. That's Rouse. And a little bit of a collision right there in front of the Colorado bench, and Rouse does get it out to Wallace. She's going to send it in from across the blue line.
That's a deep shot.
That was a deep shot. Nice save there by Griswold. She just passes it off to Bai. And Utah tries to get out of zone, but oops, a little bit of a miscue there. Rouse sends it back in deep. Puck ends up, nice wraparound attempt there by Jordan Bogg, but she is denied by Griswold. Nice save by Griswold. And puck ends up in the corner. Utah skating it up, trying to skate it up. It looks like it got poke checked and knocked back in. Still bouncing around. And then interception there by Atwood, and she has a good shot on goal, but it goes a little bit wide and high.
Utah needs to get the puck out of the zone.
Yes,
We've
it's been in here a long time.
2 minutes. There's a chance just get it out. Even if Colorado, oh, there's an interception there.
Yeah, nice little pickoff there.
Goal.
And right in the goal. And just like that, a mistake by Colorado ends up with Utah now getting their second goal of the period at 15:07. And that looked like that was Ella Brenner, number 25. Great heads-up play there to intercept that pass. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're right. It's 29 Bailey.
The pink is a little hard to read.
Yeah, well, my eyes are bad, so thanks for the pick up there. Yes, I'm sorry. That is number 29, Caitlin Bailey, scoring for the Utes.
Utah looks much better than last night. And, I mean, up until that last period. But this aggressiveness is, Colorado looks a little shook right now.
I think they do. I think like they're a little bit set back on their heels. I would agree with that
There's
assessment.
another chance. There's a shot on goal again by Christner.
All right, Colorado really having a hard time getting it out. They finally clear the zone.
That might be icing.
Good call. It is indeed icing. So that means we're just going to come back into the Colorado zone, have a face-off. Looks like it's going to be to Beerbaum's right. And interesting, too, Utah decided to stick with their hot hand with Samantha Griswold in goal against Knight. She and Sarah Olsen have been kind of splitting duties for most of the season. All right. Utah controls off the draw. Kistner behind the net. Hansen goes in to help. She managed to dump it back into the corner. Kistner's going to go chase after it. She's being pursued and checked hard by Henderson. And Colorado does manage to clear the puck out of the zone, but it gets immediately sent back in by Stevenson. Henderson picks it up behind her own net. She's looking to get that breakout started, but it's also, again, intercepted by Cruikshank, who managed to keep it in the Colorado zone. Fighting for the puck along the boards. And Furla picks it up in the corner, but it gets poked away. Puck is still kind of bouncing all on boards, and finally Colorado tries to get something started. But Utah managed to retrieve it and send it right back up, and they're going to turn right back around. Here comes Cruikshank across the blue line. She gets a little bit hung up, so it's going to go into the corner. Caps is in there behind the net. She tries to center it out, and now it gets picked up by Holloway. She sends a long cross-ice pass, but to no one, actually, and Stevenson sends it back up along the glass. Caps.
Colorado's having a very tough time keeping possession.
They're having a hard time stringing like more than two passes together. It's really clear today that I didn't see that last night.
No, and I think Utah's aggressiveness is a little stronger today than it was yesterday. And I think they realize Colorado's not as aggressive. So, you know, coming into today.
And you think maybe confidence has something into it? Like after yesterday, they feel confident, hey, we can just do the things we want to do.
I think after last night's loss for Colorado, where it was 0-0 going into the third, it's a little bit more deflating.
Yeah.
Rather than giving up 3 goals in the first and then going the rest of the game and not scoring.
Yeah.
I think going into the third, they thought they had a chance. They had a really good chance, but just was outplayed by Utah.
Yep. I think that's a great assessment. All right, and speaking of which, Utah still is controlling the puck in Colorado zone. And then as soon as I say that, of course, they make me a liar. And Ahrens sends the puck up, and she does manage to get the puck out of the zone. So Utah tries to get it back in, but unsuccessfully. It's going to be offsides. And looks like Colorado's also going to use that stoppage to have a line change.
Ooh, big hit there.
Big hit there. It's kind of like they just both skated into each other. All right. And, nice poke check there.
Yeah,
Puck gets loose.
Harris got hit a little bit.
Yeah, got hit a little bit there.
These long passes from Colorado that Utah just reads immediately is what's causing problems on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think instead of just holding the puck for one more step and actually figuring out where your players are, I think they're kind of blindly just trying to send it up ice.
Yeah.
And that's not going to do well. And you're right. Utah's doing an excellent job of anticipating that and just being there to pick it off. All right. Again, Utah with the puck. It's going to be Kistner. And from the circle, it looks like that's Hendry. She goes for a wrist shot. Beerbaum makes a save. I think Hendry kind of wishes maybe she'd skated around that one defender because she had a little more room, and you kind of see her kind of shaking her head afterwards. Like, oh, why didn't I take one more step? But it's all right. It's all good. Shots on goal. You just hope for, they should be on goal, and you hope for a rebound. So that's the important thing, is to make sure you just keep on putting the pressure on.
That was a strong possession from Utah. They held possession. Oh, that one. Goes all the way down to the other end. They
and
held
that was,
possession.
yeah, just she lost an edge.
They held possession, and they were in the middle of a line change. They had 3 players in the offensive zone, and they held possession.
Ooh, that was a nice wrist shot there. Looks like that was from Bonk. Goes wide. Colorado looks like they are finally, well, I was just about to say, it looks like Colorado's finally mounting offense, but they turned it over, and here comes Kistner down the right side. Across the goal line, gets around one defender. She bounces into the corner up to Caps.
Feels like Utah's consistently on a power play.
It does kind of feel like that, huh? Just the way they're set up, and they feel like they have an extra body on the ice. And they're staying spread out really well. Yeah, that's a really good observation. All right. Stevenson picks it up in her own zone. And they start the breakout. She sends it across to Hendry. I'm sorry, not to Hendry. Who is that? Number 20. You're right. Those numbers they're tough for me. Puck ends up down in the Colorado zone. Caps is chasing hard for it. And Sachs dumps it out. That might be icing. Yeah, she put a little bit too much on it. Wasn't really passing it to anyone in particular.
Ever since those couple of minutes where we saw Colorado attacking, it seems as though they're surviving Utah's attack and dumping it down, changing lines, and here we are again.
Right, and Utah pretty much just has all the control. They're making all the decisions of how this game is moving and flowing.
Certainly.
All right, and once again, Utah controls off the draw. Oh, I spoke too soon. Anderson has something to say about that. And here comes, and then Utah unable to keep it in the zone.
That was so close.
It was so close.
That was a matter of inches whether that would be offsides or not.
Right, right. But unfortunately, the inches we were on the wrong side of the inches, and so we're going to have a face-off just outside the blue line. All right, puck bouncing around a little bit. Caps finally gets control of it, sends it back to Eichel. And Eichel back up to Cruikshank. Gets intercepted, though, and here comes Long. That was a nice pick-off by Long. She's going to skate across the neutral zone, but then she loses the handle on it and gets poked away. And Amal Eichel indeed looks to be playing defender today. Gets picked up there. It's that number 12, Hendry, is sending it up. All right, now here comes Colorado. That's going to be number 11. That's not Rouse. That is McCloskey, but she loses the handle on it, ends up in the corner. And Utah picks it up. Nice up.
Oh, nice interception
forwarding.
there.
Ooh, that was a nice pickup. I was just about to say nice forwarding pass, but never mind.
She just came off the bench, too.
Okay, good timing.
Came in.
Cruikshank.
Oh.
Beautiful shot from the circle. Beerbaum, actually, that almost went 5-hole.
Yeah.
But she does make the stop. And we'll have a face-off to her left.
This is a big face-off for Shutt. Keep it in the zone just like this. Put the pressure on Colorado to defend and make better passes than they've been making right now. That was a massive hit from Shutt.
Yeah, Shutt is a very strong player, and you don't want to go like one-on-one with her unless
she's still down.
Oh, she's still down. Oh my goodness. You don't want to go one-on-one on her unless you've been in the weight room a bit. Very strong skater, very powerful skater, and it looks like she is okay.
Yeah.
Not sure what happened. And there was no penalty. I didn't see a penalty. Yeah. I didn't even notice that she was still down. I looked for a hand signal from the referee and didn't see anything, so I was busy watching the puck.
I was counting.
Oh, you were counting bodies.
The referee look over at her, and I was like, they are missing a player.
All right, so both teams looks like they're going to change their lines up a little bit. We're going to have a face-off here in the Colorado zone. Looks like it's going to be Caps facing off against Aarons. And off we go. Utah does in control. Bonk managed to get it loose, but then she coughs it up. It's going to get scooped up by Utah. They're going to send it around. Stevenson trying to get it out of the zone. Aarons trying to keep it back in. Oh, centering past the Bonk. Now she is scoring. She has scoring potential, so we do have to make sure we don't let her get through. Puck ends up back in the corner. Still in the corner. Finally kind of pops out in the circle and finally gets sent out of the zone, thankfully, by one of the defenders. That looks like it's Alex By.
Yeah, Bonk with 10 goals on the season, second best on the team. she's a threat.
Yep, she's a threat. And one of the players that I know that Colorado's missing this trip is Sydney Brown.
Yeah,
their top scorer.
Yeah, leads the team in points and by a shattering
And she played last year as well. She is definitely a scoring threat. She did not make the road trip this time around, so I know that Colorado's missing her.
That's a nice save there.
Very nice save. Yep, very nice save
with a rocket.
Yep. All right, so we're going to have a face-off in one of the kind of few scoring chances we've seen this period by Colorado. And Utah controls off the draw.
It's going to be icing.
And that's going to be icing. She was actually going for number 26 there on our team. That's Ellsworth, but just out of her reach. So we're going to just come back, and it'll be a do-over.
Yeah. So shots on goal, Utah 10 to Colorado's 5. Seems like it should be more than that almost.
You know, it kind of feels like that too. Although on the other hand, if you think about it, 10 shots on goal, and we still have 8 minutes to play. That's actually quite a lot of quite a number of shots on goal already for the first period. But it does feel like, I think it speaks to Utah having possession in the Colorado zone so much. Also, our scorekeeper is very good about making sure that it's not just any puck that goes near the goal. It's actually got to be that the goal, if the goalie wasn't, if the goalie wasn't there, it goes in. Right. And it's one of those little scoring nuances that, you know, it's really important that scorekeepers know that. That's why I don't scorekeep, because I'm really bad at stats. It was also interesting, and I didn't learn this until just recently, that if the shot is on goal but it gets blocked by a defender, that is not actually a shot on goal statistically.
Huh.
Yeah, it's only the ones that the goalie makes the save.
Wow.
Yeah, that's interesting, right?
Yeah. Look at you, your little.
I'm learning. I was going to say, it's not too late for me to learn like little things. I can learn. I'm still not a stats person though. All right, and Utah sends it in, and probably not going to be icing because Beerbaum. Oh, Beerbaum bobbles that a little.
Out there.
Yeah, she bobbled that a little bit. Anyway, it would have been icing, but I think she decided to try and save it. And probably she was thinking she was like pass it off to one of her defenders, but yeah, she had a little bit of trouble covering that one up.
Well, I think one of our players was going to beat Colorado to it, and she just said, "I'll take the face-off."
I'll just take it, yeah. Then worry about the aftermath of that. All right. Utah controls off the draw. Bailey back there, sending it up, trying to send it up to the point, but Colorado does manage to clear it out of the zone, and we have a penalty? I'm not sure what the whistle was. He's pointing at something.
Yeah, no one's going towards the box.
Looks like they just want to do the face-off over for some reason. I'm really confused. Of course, I'm easily confused.
Yeah, hockey is confusing.
All right, now we're going to have an icing.
Yeah,
oh, we're not. Icing waved off. Wow, we're all expecting icing, and icing. Oh, no. They just really slow to call the icing call. That was interesting.
Well, I think it was originally going to be icing, and one of those Colorado players accelerated, and she might have made it first, but Utah.
Well, the new icing rule is, though, a player doesn't have to touch it. It just has to cross the line. And the whole idea is it's a safety issue. You don't want just what we saw there, 3 players hauling butt down there and then losing an edge or something and all careening the backboard. So the icing does not require now somebody to touch it to try and wave it off. They'd have to touch it out here closer to the red line. But that end line, it's not a race for that anymore. And it was completely for safety reasons. I think it's one of those rule changes that actually is a good one.
Yeah. Here comes Wallace. That was a great pass.
Yeah, nice pass. Ooh, nice save, but kind of got away and got loose. Utah does manage to clear the zone.
Here's a 2-on-2 opportunity.
Yeah, here we go. It's going to be, that's Goldenberg and Furla coming down.
Nice save there. And
stalwart save by Sam Griswold.
Griswold uses that glove really well.
She must have like 30-20 vision or 30-15 vision or something, because she really does have a great eye. Now, she played a little bit of Division III NCAA prior to coming to Utah, and I believe she took a little bit of a break from hockey for a bit, and then I can't remember how she got in contact with the team, but she came back and decided that, you know, she had more eligibility left, so she said, I'll come play, and it's been good for us, that's for sure.
We got a penalty.
Oh, looks like that was tripping. Looks like Bai. So it's going to be number 28 for Utah. Alex Bai is going to sit for 2 minutes.
We got a power play.
Yeah. Colorado's going to have a power play. And Utah's going to have a penalty kill. And I was kind of trying to look up what the percentage of penalty kills, because the ACHA scoreboard usually does that. But for some reason, we're not having that come up this game, where I can see what the power play conversion and penalty kill percentage is.
Both teams had 2 power play opportunities heading into the third period. Neither converted, and then Utah got one to start. The third period scored within 12 seconds.
Right, and that was kind of the beginning of the end, basically. All right, Sandstra across the blue line, but it's going to be offsides because Long got there ahead of her. Boy, that was kind of odd because Long was way ahead of her. I'm not sure if maybe she must have been expecting a pass, perhaps. And both teams decide it's a good time for some fresh legs on the ice. We have 1:37 left in the penalty kill for Utah. 5 minutes, 25 seconds left in the period. And Utah controls. Gets intercepted, picked up by Sachs. Sends it across to Raymond. Sends it back across to McCloskey. But McCloskey cleans it up. Yeah, great pressure here.
From Utah. They're not just defending the one-time possession in Colorado's attacking zone. They want it all the way out in the neutral zone.
Yep, they're coming right out in the neutral zone. All right, now here comes Raymond across the blue line on the right side. She ends up in the corner, being pursued hard by Hendry. Oh, and then she dumps it off to number 23, that's Atwood. Still in the corner. Oh, can she keep it in? It looks like she did keep it in, but then Colorado kind of gave up on it. Oh, no, they didn't keep it in. Sorry, the Lions official's arm was up, so they did indeed get the puck, lose the puck, and now they do ice it. Kind of picked up by Raymond behind her own net. She tries to pass it up. She kind of loses the handle on it, whiffs on that a little bit, but she ends up recovering it. Now she sends a cross-ice pass, very nice pass, across to Goldenberg.
And that pressure that is so high up is high risk, high reward. If you go for a steal and you don't get it, now you're down another player.
Right.
But so far, it seemed, both yesterday and today, it seemed to have
It seems, yeah, I think it, and I think you pointed out as well that the reason that it works for Utah is they do have the speed to catch up. Now we have 7 seconds left in the penalty kill. The clock is winding down. Bai is up on her feet. And here she is. She joins the party. And Colorado still maintaining control.
That was a nice opportunity.
That was a nice opportunity. She just couldn't quite handle it. That was number 27. Harrison couldn't quite handle the puck. Settle it down.
Should be icing, yep.
And sure enough, it is icing.
Interesting icing play there. Utah had it almost on their blue line, just sent it down. No one seemed to care for that.
Right, right. I wonder if she was actually thinking she was going to try and actually send it on goal and just missed.
Yeah.
You know, because it was kind of like she had a lot of time and like there wasn't any player like in the vicinity of that to be a pass. But nonetheless, we have a face-off again in the Utah zone. And it pops out. And it's scooped up by Holloway. Being fighting for the puck is Cruikshank and Holloway, and then it finally pops out. Wallace digs it out, sends a nice pass up to number 13. That was LaPearl, and she goes ahead and shoots it on goal, and Griswold makes a save. Griswold's had quite a few saves. I think that shot scoreboard is a little bit behind. Yeah, a little bit behind. We got 3 minutes, 17 seconds left in the first period. Utah leading Colorado 2-0.
Both teams are doing better job offensively and defensively. Much more aggressive than yesterday. I just think Utah's doing a better job.
Yeah, right, right. And it's true. I think the pace of play seems to have picked up quite a bit this second game compared to yesterday. Utah is going to have a face-off. It looks like Griswold covered that one up. But yeah, the pace of play seems to pick up. And I agree that the quality of the passes is better. Colorado's looking a little bit disorganized, but I do agree with you that it's due to Utah putting the pressure on them.
And they did update the shots on goal, so we're at 10-10
see, right after
now.
I said that, now we're at 10-10. Yeah. They did that on purpose just to make me, like, you know, have to look at the scoreboard again.
And we felt that change in the past few minutes. Colorado has been much better in their attacking zone.
Right. It was clear that something shifted and they were, really going on the attack.
Might have been the 2 goals that they'd given up.
Nice shot from the point by Fish. Nice stick save by Beerbaum. A little bit of a tie up there, and then here comes number 24. That is Lambert across the blue line behind the Utah net. She's going to try and circle around. She drops it off, tries to cycle it to Long, but it gets picked off by Utah.
That's going to be
and that's going to be offsides. Yeah, nice interception by Long, but as soon as she touched the puck, she realized, oh no, that's not going to work. So we're going to have a face-off just outside the blue line. And don't forget, folks, we have a full slate of hockey day. We, of course, have the men's 2 game. They're hosting USC, following the women. And then this evening, the highlight match of the evening is going to be Utah hosting University of Central Oklahoma. And if you missed that game last night, you need to go back to YouTube and watch that one, because that was a barn burner last night. Utah's men's 2 also winning their game against USC. And Utah's men's 2 is also trying to vie for a postseason slot to qualify to the postseason tournament will then be a qualifier for nationals. Now, I have talked to the head coach, Brayton Yo, and right now the women's team is probably going to qualify for their postseason tournament as well, which again is a qualifier for nationals. I mean, we can't say officially 100% sure, but the win against Colorado last night and Utah's current win-loss record and ranking, they're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, something's got to go wrong.
Really wrong, right. I mean, we do have a few games left on the schedule, but really those teams are not as strong as Colorado. So unless something really strange and unexpected happens, we're kind of hoping and expecting that to happen. And of course, I'm just the mouth up here, so I could be totally wrong. And when we come back next week for the next home game, if I am wrong, you can all laugh at me. All right, Colorado managed to keep it in there behind the net. Utah's net. Oh, trying for a kind of a centering pass from behind the net.
These past 10 minutes has been a complete change.
Yeah, like a whole different strategy, right?
Right, yeah. So Colorado is really holding the attacking zone, whether it's a quality possession or not. I think first period, it's super critical to set the tone. Utah did that within moments, but Colorado's kind of punching back.
Right. Colorado. And, Colorado is a good team. They are not going to just roll over and die and say, oh, no, we're behind. So it's the sign of a quality program and a quality skill set that they are willing to, fight back. 2 goals is not a huge lead, especially when you're still only in the first period. As we wind down to the last 41 seconds in the first period. Colorado trying to get a breakout going from their zone. Utah, of course, trying to keep it in. A nice little wrist shot from the point. Bye-bye. Stick save by Beerbaum. Gets poked loose. It's going to end up in the neutral zone. It's going to get picked up by Stevenson. Just going to huck it back up to Harris. Harris, nice little out pass to Eichel. Back to Stevenson. Nice lead pass there to Shutt. And she's got to hustle. And she's going to go in the corner. And she scoops it up. She goes for a pass, trying to go for that near post, but it gets sticked away, deflected.
And we got a couple seconds left.
And at the buzzer, the 2 teams are going to go to the locker rooms with Utah leading Colorado 2-0. So, interesting game, right? Utah came out the first half of that first period pretty much dominating play. And then Colorado fought back bit by bit, tooth and nail, and they really put on a pretty good rush at the second part of that first period.
And that's something we didn't see yesterday. Colorado did not punch back whatsoever last night's game. And Utah, getting out very early, 2-0 lead, even early in the first period.
Right.
And Colorado kind of took it. And then we saw this last half of the first period. They were controlling the attacking zone and the possession. But something that we've seen is Utah is much better skill-wise with the puck. Their passes are crisper. Colorado needs to get more controlled attacks and hold on to possession so that they can get a quality shot.
I would agree with that. All right, folks, we are also going to take a little break. Don't go away. We'll be back with the second period.
Welcome to the Rocky Mountains.
Welcome to open trails and new vistas.
Welcome to stunning Red Rock.
Welcome to the greatest snow on earth.
By the tree of broken glass, where the home.
Welcome to Game Day Fun.
Anything could last. So let's go and take the words that we know.
Welcome to the party!
Of thoughtful dreams. But if you listen, you can still hear.
Welcome to Pac-12 Sports.
Welcome to world-class research.
Welcome to the arts.
Welcome to real-world experiences.
We can go to that bridge that crosses over fear.
Welcome to a great education.
Welcome to new friends.
We can toss our worries far away from our hearts. And if you
Welcome to the time of your life.
not hear them calling out our names, calling out our
Welcome to all you can imagine.
though we might fade and fall, we'll keep on standing tall. This world is in our hands. So get up and grab and walk and see. Those gray clouds look close, but we have come and gone.
Welcome to the University of Utah.
So get up and grab and walk and see.
Thanks for calling the Salt Lake Visitor Center. If you have any questions, please leave a message and we'll get back to you.
Hello! I tell you what, I'm just going to put you on speaker. All right, a little about me. I'm a bit of a phenomenal skier, so I want to take my family on a vacay, which is short for vacation. Hope you don't mind the abbreviations. I'm just short of time today, so I need to sort of hurry things along. Just a few simple questions for you. They call Salt Lake Ski City, but you do ski in the mountains, right? I'm just picturing myself skiing down the sidewalk there next to the shops. Knowing my luck, I'll do one of my big flips and end up in the traffic. So I don't want that to be the case. Look, I've got to go. You're really keeping me here. Although I will say, I'm going to see your Utah Jazz play a basketball game. And I've heard there's a couple of Australians in the team. So here's my question. Are they causing you any trouble? I just had a thought. The average snowfall near Salt Lake is 500 inches. If I was to utilise all of that to build a giant snow person, would that be majestic or a bit scary? Oh, hey, listen, just quietly. I'm a big family guy. You know that. I've told you that. But after a few days with them, I'm going to need a drink. That's legal, right? I hear Utah has the youngest population of any state. So if I was to head down to one of your hot rockin' clubs or a social event, would there be a youth person in there that might be able to explain Snapchat to me? My kids just won't do it. Now, I've heard there's a bit of a Sharks versus Jets rivalry between the skiers and the snowboarders. And if I made that movie, would you watch it? Oh, when was your last Yeti sighting? Are you getting all this, by the way? I'm assuming you can rewind. The Utah state bird is a California gull. I mean, even you've got to admit that is confusing. I guess that's more of a statement than a question, but still I thought I'd bring it up. Now, your Ski City Super Pass, I take it that's part of the Marvel Universe. If I get that, will people call me the Winter Soldier Man? I really wish you could see this. All right, well, this will be costing me, so I better go. Thanks for everything. Bye.
This is Beth from the Salt Lake Visitor Center calling you back to answer your questions. First off, yes, you can absolutely drink here. We'd prefer if you ski in the mountains, and I'm happy to call you Winter Soldier.
My name is Marguerite Van Komen, and I'm a snowbird ski patrolman. My dog's name is Frank. What a good boy, huh? What a good boy you are. I start every morning waking up and having breakfast with the dog, and then we finish every day having dinner together, but everything in the middle changes. We train them using their own instincts, so instead of hunt for dinner, they're hunting for humans. A lot of thought goes into choosing these dogs. Number one, they've got to be able to handle the cold. Number two, they got to be pretty hardy. And three, we're looking for very high drive dogs. The dog that is going to chew your sofa up at home, we want that dog. The people, the mountain at Snowbird, it's just special. And everything you want to do is here in Salt Lake. Get off the plane, grab your gear from the luggage cart, and within 30 to 45 minutes, you're up here and skiing on snow. You know, Salt Lake is super unique. We have 4 full seasons. So you can come up, ski all morning till the snow gets a little too smushy, and then you go and hit 18 at the golf course at the bottom of the mouth, and then you can go out for a wonderful dinner and see theater. It's amazing how much you can fit into your day. And not only do we have everything that you want to do, but we have great people to do it with. Everyone wants to be outdoors, happy, and go and play. Every day is different, and I love that. I love showing up to work and going, what is on the plate today? Snowbird is my family, and Salt Lake is my home, and Frank is a great part of that. My name is Marguerite Van Komen. I'm a snowbird ski patrolman, and I am Salt Lake.
Welcome to the Rocky Mountains.
Welcome to open trails and new vistas.
Welcome to stunning Red Rock.
Welcome to the greatest snow on earth.
By the tree of broken glass, where the hope
Welcome to Game Day Fun.
anything could last. So let's go and take the words that we know.
Welcome to the party!
Of thoughtful dreams. But if you listen, you can still hear
Welcome to Pac-12 Sports.
our names, calling out our names.
Welcome to world-class research.
We'll keep on standing tall. This world is in our hands. So get up and grab your
Welcome to the art.
top, no trip. We are tough as nails. Come on, this is our land.
Welcome to real world experiences.
We can go to that bridge that crosses over fear.
Welcome to a great education.
Love and what it does to those they hold near. So let's run till the water.
Welcome to new friends.
We can toss our worries far away from our hearts. And if you listen,
Welcome to the time of your life.
not hear them calling out our names, calling out our
Welcome to all you can imagine.
Though we might faint and fall, we'll keep on standing tall. This world is in our hands. So get up and grab and walk and see. Those gray clouds look close, but we have come and gone.
Welcome to the University of Utah.
So get up and grab and walk and see.
folks. Here we go. It's time for another period of Utah hockey. Of course, the women's hockey, Utah is leading Colorado 2-0 after one period of play. We looked up, and after I'd said that the shot clock hadn't been updated, looks like they're pretty even up, right, Jacob?
Yep, 12-12, and let's talk adjustments, right? Colorado, a little bit more. Colorado, they need to have better controlled attacks, like yesterday. They've seen Utah's aggressiveness for 4 periods now. Let's see some adjustments. Now Utah, they don't have much to change, right? We saw a little bit towards that later half of the first period. Colorado was in their attack for a long time, so I think getting it out of the zone is key for them.
And you kind of mentioned this when we went off air, that Colorado actually started to do that in the second half of the first period, and that was the thing that they need to keep doing.
Right.
Is that adjustment.
That was the best shot we've seen.
That was a great shot.
From Colorado.
Yep, that was a great shot.
Right off the face-off.
Very controlled. They carried the puck in, had their play set up, and then got a good quality shot on goal. Absolutely. All right, now Utah comes back.
Wow, what a move there.
Nice move along the boards. Oh, centering pass, unfortunately, goes all the way through, and then a nice shot from the high slot. Nice stick save by Beerbaum. Puck's in the corner behind the net. And Utah comes up with it. Rouse trying to send it along the boards. She starts the play from her zone. Oops. Hits the Colorado player right in the back. Bounces down.
Wow, nice.
Interception.
Nice pass there.
And pass goes wide, or shot goes wide. Pass goes wide. Shot goes wide. And puck is still in the corner. Eileen Eichel trying to dig it out. Finally comes out. Rouse scoops it up from Colorado. Oh, and then she goes down a heap, but no call. Yeah, I thought the same thing. She looked like she got her stick blade under her inner skate, but she goes down, comes back up, no call. Rouse sending back along the boards, behind the net. Scooped up by Bonk. Tries to send it out to the point. Oh, I'm sorry, tries to send out a stretch pass, not to the point. Stretch pass. And play gets broken up. And it looks like Amal Eichel tries to send up. No icing. Ends up behind the net. Henderson back out to Atwood, but Utah breaks it up. Puck is still in the Colorado zone. Nice one-timer by Amal. Stick save by Beerbaum.
Oh, almost there. Could have gotten a piece on of it, but close for Utah.
Yeah, and I mean, Beerbaum's having a very good, the goalie, Beerbaum for Colorado, is having a very good game. She's definitely helping Colorado stay close and stay in this game with Utah.
Definitely a lot more shots we saw than yesterday.
By Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. All right, puck ends up behind Utah's net. Sends it back along, up to Kistner. Back into the corner. Weber scoops it up. Back out to By. He's going to send it up the boards to Eileen Eichel.
Oh, somehow got to her.
Right, I know. Well, nice little spin move to keep that puck with her because it kind of was behind her. She had to kind of like spin around to scoop it and keep it close. But nonetheless, Colorado sends it back into the Utah zone. Yeah, I mean, Utah definitely, we can see some really fine skating talent and stick handling. And yeah, speaking of which, here we go. Hansen, shot, hits Rouse in the skates, but Hansen goes back and centers it. Now, here comes Colorado with a 2-on-2. Oh, and then she loses an edge.
Look at Utah's speed. That was a 2-on-2.
2-on-2, and now it's suddenly a 2-on-4.
Yeah, and Utah bursts up the ice.
Absolutely.
Barring, one of those Colorado players falling down.
Right. No, but it's true. The two players who were lagging ended up being even within a few strides. Yep. I do know that one of the things Utah has really tried to emphasize this year in their drills is speed, is getting the girls to work on their skating speed because they want to be able to have that burst, right? Acceleration power. All right, nice shot on goal by Caps. Stick save by Beerbaum.
Here we go again. Let's see this one-on-one, maybe a trailing.
Ooh, nice little poke check by Stevenson there. And that was 14. She had a chance there, Aarons. Unfortunately, she didn't really have support on her left side. She was kind of by herself. Colorado, though, maintaining control of the puck in the Utah zone. Now, here comes Bonk, and she is a dangerous player. And sure enough, she lets one fly, goes wide.
That's a second great look we've seen from Colorado this period. That one easily could have gone in with just a little bit difference on the stick.
Right, she was a little bit too wide, but right idea, definitely the right idea. And we know she was aiming for that corner above the
and it was
glove
there.
side.
That's a tough shot, but if she can hit that, we
That
both know
hole.
she can. Yeah.
Right, we both know she can. We both know she has enough. There's enough mustard on it for it to like go in with speed. All right, so puck is again in the Utah zone. And Long scoops it up, managed to keep it in. A couple of Utah players go down. Bit of a tangle. Oh, centering pass there by number 19. That was Sandstra, and Griswold wisely decides just to cover it up because she's getting some pressure there in front of her. Both teams decide to go ahead and change up lines. We're at 15-18 in second period. Utah leading Colorado 2-0. Looks like it's going to be Hansen for Utah facing off against somebody who's bent over so far. I can't see your number. And that was Perla. I'm sorry, Furla. All right, Utah intercepts. Hansen trying to work the puck up the ice. Out to Eileen Eichel, but it gets picked off by Goldenberg, and she goes and lets one fly. And there's that fast glove that you like so much from Sam Griswold.
No problem for her either. That was a controlled, better attack in transition for Colorado. But that was no problem for Griswold to snatch that.
And I think that that's the key that you mentioned right there, that they went immediately from defense to offense in the transition, and that's the kind of thing that we didn't see yesterday.
Oh, that might be a trip in there too. No call.
No
We
call.
haven't seen
Interesting.
that past couple of days.
Yeah, players going down where when, it looks like, maybe there might be a trip, but, it's they're calling both ways. So we should be happy about that.
Yeah, not a ton of penalties either.
Right, not a ton of penalties. That's the last thing you want to see is, just the thing like kind of devolve into this pro wrestling match. All right. Puck behind the net still in the Utah zone. Finally gets scooped up. Trying to send it up and gets a little bit ahead of, I think that's Caps. Oh, sorry, no, who is that? That was Cruikshank ahead of her. Caps sending it back to Hendry. Being supported by Amal Eichel. Hendry. Nice little pass. Nice pass out to Caps. He's fighting for it along the boards. And finally, Wallace of Colorado sends it out. And then also, Ammon sends it in deep into the Utah zone.
Griswold tried to come help out on that shot that went all the way around the glass, but couldn't get enough on it, and Colorado
Pounced
had
on
three
it.
players there ready for it.
Right. Got to be careful with that kind of thing.
And we haven't seen her come out of the goal much at all.
Right. Well, and I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen too many breakaways where she would, right, a one-on-one where she would really be aggressive about that. I've seen her do it. She's not afraid to come out when she needs to, but I think in this case it might be she hasn't had, a need to at this point. Oh, Wallace's shot is deflected. Utah's got a good chance now, except it gets away from Bailey, and now looks like we're going to have, icing waved off. And Colorado's trying to move that puck up along the boards. It's getting hung up there a little bit. Ooh, nice little move there by Sandstra. She dumps it in, ends up in the corner. Utah managed to spin it around the back of the net. Picked up by Bai. Colorado keeping it in though. It's going to be a fight here. Here we go. Still scrambling to get control of the puck, going back and forth, changing hands back and forth. Finally ends up in the corner. Hansen's going to scoop it up, skate it behind her own net, and as we know, she's got speed. Picked up by Bai. She drops it to Bai. Raymond keeps it in, still in the Utah zone. Bai's back there in the corner. She's trying to get it up and out, and finally Utah does get it out.
They got a deflection on that.
Yep,
too.
they got a deflection on that, so no icing. I think that's Beerbaum saw that and also saw that she had a, Utah player that's Camden Harris bearing down very quickly on her. So she decides, I'm just going to cover this puck up, and as you like to say, better to just have the face-off.
Yeah, and something we've seen past couple days that can be attributed to the better defense is a lot of broken passes, broken shots. We don't see a ton of great shots right off the stick that are on the goal. A lot of times they go for a slap shot and just don't really get enough on it because there's another defender right there.
They're getting rushed. Yeah, and this is the Colorado team. And I think that is the difference between the Utah team, where they're getting quality chances to score and pressuring Colorado, so that instead Colorado's having to rush their chances. All right, and Colorado managed to clear the puck out of their zone. It's going to get scooped up by Hansen. A little bit of a broken pass there. Puck is dancing around on the blue line, back and forth a little bit. And finally, Utah recovers. And it looks like that's Weber who's sending around back behind her own net. Oh, that was not a good pass. She was, Utah players trying to clear it, and it gets picked off. Number 6, Goldenberg, read that one all the way and picked that one off. Kistner ends up with it. Puck's bounced around. Now Long picks it up of Colorado. Out to the point. Oh, and unfortunately, number 23 of Colorado's Atwood unable to handle it. And she takes a whack at it and gets picked off by Hansen. Now Hansen's got speed. She gets around one defender. Across the blue line. Fish sends a stretch pass. Oh, she was sending a stretch pass to Hansen. Didn't realize Hansen was heading to the bench. Too bad. Missed opportunity there, but that's the way that goes. And puck ends up behind the net of Colorado. Long chasing it, but instead it gets picked up by, I believe that's Ellsworth. I can't quite see whether it's a 6 or a 5. Oh, there it is!
That one popped up. No one could really find it. And a little backhand goes right in.
Goes right in, and that was a bit of a scrap. I mean, everybody's fighting for the puck there as it was bouncing around, and those are hard to control when they're bouncing up off the ice. But the bounce goes to the right player, goes to the Utah player's stick, and then backhanded, like you said, just flips it into the net. Utah now has a 3-0 lead at 10-19 in the second period.
Just like that, Utah's on the attack again.
Right,
good shot,
right,
too.
yeah, right off the bat, right off the face-off. Barely 2 seconds ticking off the clock before Utah goes for another shot.
That was Gracie Caps with the goal. Found it in the air, put it in.
Gracie Caps again, another one of our skaters with great stick handling skills and a lot of speed. All right, Raymond tries for the wraparound. Stopped by Griswold. Puck pops loose into the corner. Bailey digs it out. Sends it back behind the net. As trying to go for a forwarding pass, but it gets by, gets through everyone. Bailey's chasing after it, along with Rouse behind the Colorado net.
Samantha Griswold is a machine back there. She hasn't given up a goal in who knows how long.
Well, it's been, let's see, how many periods?
At least 4.
Yeah, so it's been a good while.
It's 4.5.
Yeah, good while. And we were kind of looking at her stats. Like, her stats have gone up, you know, in the last game and a half. Her save percentage has gone up, which is great.
Yeah, it was .917 heading into
this period. Yep.
And add a few in there too.
Yep. Yeah. Right. We've certainly had, as you pointed out, Colorado's been shooting more. All right. So we got a few sticks flying around here. Got a loose stick, and another shot on goal, but that by Harris, but that goes off of somebody's stick and ends up behind the net. Colorado covers, and they do manage to clear the puck out of the zone. Bai's going to go chasing after it, and Griswold instead scoops it up because she realizes that number 19 of Colorado, Sandstra, is bearing down hard. So she scoops it up. We're going to have a face-off in the Utah zone. 8:28 left in the second period.
Despite only being in the second period, as I think Griswold is tying something over there. She was doing it earlier too.
Oh yeah. It looks like she's good to go.
That was all the attention over there. But despite being in the second period, Colorado isn't doing too much where it doesn't feel like they're in a danger zone. This is 3-0 deficit.
We got a breakaway chance, right? Got a breakaway chance here. That looks like
Wow.
That was Kistner, and again, she's another one of our speedy skaters. She goes for the backhand. Beerbaum makes an excellent save. I don't think Kistner really had much room to maneuver there. She did have a defender hanging all over her. Nice backhand try, but saved by Beerbaum. And on the draw, picked up by Lambert of Colorado, but then intercepted and taken by Utah. However, it is poke loose. Bonk managed to send it into the Utah zone very briefly before it comes right back out. Then picked up by Lambert. Ooh. She goes down along the boards, gets tangled up there. And a wrist shot from the circle by number 15. Wow. That was Sachs. And then she follows up the rebound, but it goes into the corner. And puck is hung up along the boards. Fighting for the puck along the board still.
Colorado hasn't done anything in these last 4 periods to make it seem like they can overcome a 3-0 deficit. So something's going to have to change dramatically for them to outscore Utah by 3 goals at least moving now.
Right, and broken play right there that Hendry picks right up and this shoots right from outside the blue line on goal. And I would agree that, you know, three goal difference is not a lot, except if you look at the context, which is Colorado has to like fight and scrap for every single goal they've managed to get.
I mean, Utah's defense is incredible. You know, we've seen a couple shots this period that have been a great look for Colorado, something that has grown in terms of their game so far to this trip to Salt Lake City. But they're not scoring goals, and that's the biggest problem.
Right, right. That's right. They got to go in the net. All right, Colorado. Excuse me, Colorado is scooping up the puck, sending it out. Hendry sends it right back in. Picked up by Rouse. She sends it up to Ammon, but Ammon loses the handle on it. Hendry to Ellsworth, but Rouse picks it off, so there's a little bit of back and forth here, keeping it in the Utah zone. This could be a dangerous situation, but Griswold decides that I've had enough of that. She goes and smothers the puck. Line change for Utah. We got 6 minutes, 38 seconds left in the period. Utah leading 3-0. And the shots on goal, if that looks correct to you, are still pretty even. But as you said, they're not quality shots by Colorado.
It doesn't feel like they're setting up any plays or with any strategy. It's scrappy, and they're getting to the goal. It doesn't.
They're getting like breaks as opposed to
that's
creating.
Gotta be tripping in there.
No, apparently not.
I thought for sure that was the worst one we've seen.
Yeah, it seems kind of obvious when they go splat face first and slide along on the ice. And finally, you got your wish. All right, so when they go splat face first, that usually means somebody got tripped. And in this case, it's going to be...
It's going to be a buff.
Yep. Well, it was... who was that? I think it was Bailey who ended up going face first. Yeah. And so that's number 20 for Colorado. Mia Ammon is going to sit for 2 minutes for tripping. And we're going to have a face-off, of course, in the Colorado end. So Utah on the power play. The power play unit, it's going to be Hansen facing off against Long. And the other members of the power play squad is going to be Hendry, Stevenson, Kistner, and the far side Harris.
That is an incredible effort. He's got the hand raised again.
Oh, so we have a delay penalty. This time Utah. Now it's going to be on Utah. And sure enough, Beerbaum's going to go to the bench so that Colorado can have the extra player on the ice. So Utah, of course, is going to try and touch it up. And Hansen finally does touch it up.
That was a great effort from Bonk. Short-handed, she wins the face-off, races down the ice.
And literally has to fight her way towards the goal with a defender hanging all over her. All right, so this time, it's going to be Hendry. And I believe, was it holding? I missed the official's hand signal.
Let's see.
It's either going to be tripping or holding, I'm guessing. So now we're going to go 4-on-4 for a minute 38, and then Colorado will have an advantage for the last 22 seconds. And puck is bounced around, ends up behind the net, scooped up by Bai.
So in our Olympic-sized rink, we're down to 4-on-4.
Yeah, right. That's a lot of extra work. Now, we've talked about kind of altitude and Olympic-sized rinks being an advantage, but I think the altitude is not an advantage to Utah against Colorado because they're used to playing at altitude.
Yeah.
However, the Olympic-sized rink being a bit wider, that probably does come into play a bit. And Utah still trying to clear the zone. Finally, nice little chance up. Cruikshank's got speed. She's going to cross the blue line. All she's got is Rouse to beat. And then the goalie, nice wrist shot. Nice save by Beerbaum. 56 seconds left in the Colorado penalty. And so now we have an icing.
That penalty on Hendry was hooking. So we got a tripping for
and
Colorado
and
a hooking.
hooking. That's parity for you right there. All right, so we got 50 seconds left again in the Colorado penalty. We're going to have a face-off in the Colorado zone. And it looks like Hansen facing Long in the face-off circle. Utah wins the draw. And Weber sends it into the corner. Kistner drops it back behind the net to Hansen. Hansen trying to get cleared for a centering pass. Being checked pretty hard there by Bonk.
There's an opportunity.
Here's an opportunity. Here. Shot from the high slot by Weber. Goes a little bit wide. Another shot dumped in there. That's number 18, Borbola. And then the rebound comes out, and then Beerbaum has to make another save.
That feels like Utah's on a power play.
Right, it doesn't feel like they're evenly they're matched up. They did set up the box like they had a man advantage or player advantage. 21 seconds still left in the Colorado penalty. 43 seconds left in the Utah penalty. We're still skating 4-on-4. And again, Utah controls off the draw, but then Colorado picks it up. Atwood skates it up along the board by herself, gets picked up by Bonk, who skates it across the blue line through the circle, tries to get by her defender. Shot on goal, saved by Griswold. Rebound comes out. Atwood has a whack at it. Another save by Griswold. Sachs trying to get it. Colorado now has their player back. They're back to 5, so it's 5-on-4. Griswold really scrambling. There's a big scramble from the net. Here's a shot from the point, maybe. No. Yes, the shot goes wide. And now here comes Utah. It's going to be Stevenson. Stevenson is a defender who can actually skate and shoot, so she carries across the blue line. She gets hauled down. No whistle. Caps picks it up by her net, and now both teams are back at full strength. 5-on-5. Colorado. Henderson picks up the puck behind her own net. She tries to send it up, but gets away from her. Weber sends it back in. Nope. Bounces back out. Now Sachs is going for it, but it gets intercepted by Kistner, who's nice little pass up to Hansen. Hansen's got a one-on-one with the goalie. Centering pass. I'm sorry. Beautiful save, and it goes in. So Hansen sends it across. I thought she was going to go one-on-one, but she wisely saw her wingmate on the right side. I can't see her number. Let's see it, and that's number 7. Megan Fish comes all the way up from defense to pop that on goal, and then just like the coach tells you follow up your shot, and she gets the rebound and pops it in. Second time's a charm for Megan Fish.
Yeah, and she didn't get it initially. Usually when you have those two players converging on the goal, it's usually a one-timer just right in there. Couldn't get it initially, got a rebound, and puts it back in. We just see it go in the back of the net. That's all that matters.
Great play by Utah at 3:20 in the second period. Utah now has a 4-goal lead, 4-0 over Colorado. All right, and puck is going to just bounce around a little bit in the neutral zone, and now here we go. Colorado carries across the blue line and then gets picked off by Utah. And in turn now, Rouse picks it up. She sends it in deep.
Something interesting is Colorado down 4 goals. They've got their backup ready to go on the bench.
Their backup goalie, you think? Well, she's actually, if that is who I think it is, I'm not sure if it's Camille or Zoe Watson.
I think it's Camille, number 40 for Colorado. Okay. That last name just looks so difficult.
Well, I think I actually wrote it down, but yes, yeah. Coroniers. Hang on, I can't even read it. Cororier. I'm sorry, Cororier.
See?
You're right, it's tough. Corey, anyway, she has more minutes, but you're right. If that's Watson, she doesn't have quite as many minutes, and they have her warming up. Now, this could be a matter of, we've said this before, that, you know, if the goalie is really just getting scored on a lot, and it's not, you know, you don't pull them as a punish or anything, but you just don't want your goalie to keep getting hammered away, right? You just need to make sure that they're not going to just keep on getting hammered at. So it could be that, or maybe they think that, you know, Watson will have, you know, better chance, you know, maybe a different style, just change things up.
Like you said yesterday, confidence is a major factor for goalies. And if you're seeing 4 goals go through you, you know, 2 periods in, you got to be beating up on yourself.
Right, right. And yeah, and it is a mental game, certainly as for a goalie, even more, I would say, than, you know, be skating on the ice. It's like kind of a mental game of chicken, constantly, every play.
And with only 90 seconds left in this period, let's see if Kezar, Colorado head coach, maybe changes it up heading into the 3rd period.
Right, and, you know, I would be surprised if he put her in now, but I think you're right, warming her up for the next period. All right, puck still in the Utah zone. Getting hung up, finally gets dumped into the corner. Amal Eichel chasing it, sending it up. Oh, she missed Harris. She was going to try and get a pass to Harris, but it's going to be icing because it got by everybody.
Somehow,
yes.
Like
I know. Sometimes it's funny. Like there's like 4 people standing there, and the puck still gets through. Hockey is a funny game. All right, so we're going to have a face-off back in the Utah zone. We just have 1 minute, 4 seconds left in the 2nd period. And Utah wins the draw. Unable to clear the zone, though. It's going to get kept in. Ends up in the corner. Goldenberg trying to get something going behind the net. She's going to try a little wraparound, but it gets broken up. Nice defense there by Utah.
Wow, great play from Lambert.
And Lambert returns the favor by breaking up the play from Utah. Utah finally does get it. That looks like Schutt's going to try and set up stretch pass. Nice stretch pass.
1 on 4.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say nice stretch pass, but she's kind of outnumbered there.
Yeah, she had a diamond around her.
She was surrounded. Harris was like just totally surrounded, like a square dance, new definition of square dance. All right, so it does end up in the Colorado zone as we wind down the last 20 seconds of the period. Puck is bounced around. Goldenberg's going to try and get it out. She does manage to clear the zone. By tries for a stretch pass up to Kistner.
Only got 10 seconds here.
Sort of looks like Colorado is just trying to like wind the seconds down. Yeah, looking at the clock and trying to wind the seconds down to end the period.
That's going to end it, right?
And that is going to end it. And Bonk is the last person to touch the puck before we end the 2nd period. The teams are going to go to the locker rooms. Utah with a now pretty commanding lead, 4-0.
Yeah, you know those adjustments. Utah didn't have many adjustments. They just kept playing their game. The aggressiveness, the pace. Colorado didn't really listen. They weren't playing with the pace and tempo they needed. They had, you know, early those couple of shots. Those were great quality looks. But that's all we've seen so far today. Those are the 2 best shots.
And it seems to have really broken down, like you said. Like it was pretty impressive that first half of the 1st period, but I'm not sure what it is. It just seems to have broken down. It's not working. So again, they'll probably have to regroup. And as you said, head coach James Kezar is probably going to have a chalk talk.
Yeah.
We'd love to be the fly on the wall for that one. In the meantime, we will take a break, folks. We'll be back here. We'll see you for the 3rd period.
Welcome to the Rocky Mountains.
Welcome to open trails and new vistas.
Welcome to stunning Red Rock.
Welcome to the greatest snow on earth.
By the tree of broken glass, where the home
Welcome to Game Day Fun.
anything could last. So let's go and take the words that we know.
Welcome to the party!
Of thoughtful dreams. But if you listen, you can still hear
Welcome to Pac-12 Sports.
our names, calling out our names.
Welcome to world-class research.
We'll keep on standing tall. This world is in our hands. So get up and grab your
Welcome to the arts.
top, no trip. We are tough as nails. Come on, this is our land.
Welcome to Real World Experiences.
We can go to the bridge that crosses over fear.
Welcome to a great education.
Love and what it does to those they hold near. So let's run till the water.
Welcome to new friends.
We can toss our worries far away from our hearts. And if you listen,
Welcome to the time of your life.
not hear them calling out our names, calling out our
Welcome to all you can imagine.
Though we might fade and fall, we'll keep on standing tall. This world is in our hands. So get up and grab and walk and see. Those gray clouds look close, but we have come and gone.
Welcome to the University of Utah.
So get up and grab and walk and see.
Thanks for calling the Salt Lake Visitor Center. If you have any questions, please leave a message and we'll get back to you.
Hello! I tell you what, I'm just going to put you on speaker. All right, a little about me. I'm a bit of a phenomenal skier, so I want to take my family on a vacay, which is short for vacation. Hope you don't mind the abbreviations. I'm just short of time today, so I need to sort of hurry things along. Just a few simple questions for you. They call Salt Lake Ski City, but you do ski in the mountains, right? I'm just picturing myself skiing down the sidewalk there next to the shops. Knowing my luck, I'll do one of my big flips and end up in the traffic. So I don't want that to be the case. Look, I've got to go. You're really keeping me here. Although I will say, I'm going to see your Utah Jazz play a basketball game. And I've heard there's a couple of Australians in the team. So here's my question. Are they causing you any trouble? I just had a thought. The average snowfall near Salt Lake is 500 inches. If I was to utilise all of that to build a giant snow person, would that be majestic or a bit scary? Oh, hey, listen, just quietly. I'm a big family guy. You know that. I've told you that. But after a few days with them, I'm going to need a drink. That's legal, right? I hear Utah has the youngest population of any state. So if I was to head down to one of your hot rockin' clubs or a social event, would there be a youth person in there that might be able to explain Snapchat to me? My kids just won't do it. Now, I've heard there's a bit of a Sharks versus Jets rivalry between the skiers and the snowboarders. And if I made that movie, would you watch it? Oh, when was your last Yeti sighting? Are you getting all this, by the way? I'm assuming you can rewind. The Utah state bird is a California gull. I mean, even you've got to admit that is confusing. I guess that's more of a statement than a question, but still I thought I'd bring it up. Now, your Ski City Super Pass, I take it that's part of the Marvel Universe. If I get that, will people call me the Winter Soldier Man? I really wish you could see this. All right, well, this will be costing me, so I better go. Thanks for everything. Bye.
This is Beth from the Salt Lake Visitor Center calling you back to answer your questions. First off, yes, you can absolutely drink here. We'd prefer if you ski in the mountains, and I'm happy to call you Winter Soldier.
My name is Marguerite Van Komen, and I'm a snowbird ski patrolman. My dog's name is Frank. What a good boy, huh? What a good boy you are. I start every morning waking up and having breakfast with the dog, and then we finish every day having dinner together, but everything in the middle changes. We train them using their own instincts, so instead of hunt for dinner, they're hunting for humans. A lot of thought goes into choosing these dogs. Number one, they've got to be able to handle the cold. Number two, they got to be pretty hardy. And three, we're looking for very high drive dogs. The dog that is gonna chew your sofa up at home, we want that dog. The people, the mountain at Snowbird, it's just special. And everything you wanna do is here in Salt Lake. Get off the plane, grab your gear from the luggage cart, and within 30 to 45 minutes, you're up here and skiing on snow. You know, Salt Lake is super unique. We have 4 full seasons. So you can come up, ski all morning till the snow gets a little too smushy, and then you go and hit 18 at the golf course at the bottom of the mouth, and then you can go out for a wonderful dinner and see theater. It's amazing how much you can fit into your day. And not only do we have everything that you want to do, but we have great people to do it with. Everyone wants to be outdoors, happy, and go and play. Every day is different, and I love that. I love showing up to work and going, what is on the plate today? Snowbird is my family, and Salt Lake is my home, and Frank is a great part of that. My name is Marguerite Van Komen. I'm a snowbird ski patrolman, and I am Salt Lake.
All right, folks, we are back for the third period of this contest. Colorado trailing Utah 4-0. Jacob, let's have a little bit of analysis, because that's your thing. Give us a little analysis of what you think needs to happen here in this third period.
Well, we saw the first period looked great for Utah, and then Colorado kind of stuck around a little bit. And we talked about second period adjustments, and we didn't really see it.
Right.
You know, Utah continuing to do what they do. Colorado really not really punching back like we saw. And
I think that's a very apt metaphor, is that, in that first period, they did kind of start to fight back.
Yeah.
And then in the second period, it just didn't materialize.
No, it didn't. So, last period of this series where Utah just dominated, let's see if Colorado can do something that they haven't done the past 5 periods. And that might include score a goal.
Yeah, it probably would include scoring a goal. Yes, I would definitely agree with that one. All right, meanwhile, we do have Utah controlling. It looks like Amel Eichel, to Hansen, does a little bit of fancy skating. And somebody lost a glove.
Oh, boy.
Looks like Hansen lost a glove in that little skirmish there.
Yeah. You see her jersey just about
covering her hand. Yeah, well,
and
you don't really want to get smacked in the wrist when you've lost your glove. That's going to sting a little bit. All right, puck gets loose. Going to get scooped up by Utah. They're going to regroup in their own zone. And Cap sends it in and then chases it after it. Going into the corner, looks like that's going to be Ellsworth. And Sachs comes back across the blue line on the left side. She sends one in right on goal.
Oof.
A little bit of a stick save by Griswold. I don't think that bounced quite where she was expecting it to.
If she wasn't there, that's a goal. You had 2 Buffaloes right there waiting for it.
Yeah, especially I noticed that Goldenberg was right there waiting for it. And I think she was actually a little surprised to see the puck in front of her. All right, Colorado again mounts a charge across the blue line.
Mostly because Griswold has just sucked in everything that...
I think that was thing was such a strange bounce from her, where normally she doesn't let that thing just kind of get away from her. Again, I mean, you've mentioned her glove skills. She has this really, not only excellent hand-eye coordination, but this kind of third eye of knowing where the puck is at all times. All right, here's Colorado mounting another defense. Sending it deep, that was McCloskey sending it in to Ammon. And still sending around the boards, back around the back of the net. And it's up in the corner. Ammon fighting with Stevenson. Finally gets scooped up.
There's the speed.
And here we go. That looks like that's Kate Yarrow sending it in deep. And she's got a support there.
Curious how she dumps that in instead of taking it. She had maybe a chance. She had to break away from a defender, and then the goal is hers. But instead she dumps it and essentially loses the possession almost.
Yeah, and it could be Kate Yarrow hasn't had as much playing time this weekend, so could be, again, getting on the ice, haven't been on the ice in a little while. But, I think she did have 2 support players right there. But let's see what we can do for the next part of the period. Kistner tries to go for a stretch pass to Eichel, but it hits somebody and just bounces, almost like ricochets all the way back. All right, here comes
both players look okay.
Aarons. Yeah, they do look okay. And Griswold breaks that one up. She saw Aarons coming down hard and fast and said, all right, well, enough of that. We're just going to stop the puck. And, Jacob reminded me during the intermission, I probably gave you the wrong time. The men's 1 game against number 6 UCO is at 4:30 today. So that game is going to be the afternoon game. And then this evening's 7:30 game is going to be the M2 hosting USC. And it's also going to be senior night, where we're going to give a little bit of a pre-game recognition of our graduating seniors from the M2 team. So be sure to come on out, support the team. And again, the men's 2 and the men's 1 are also going to be sporting specialty jerseys, and we're going to be having specialty gear on sale, available, all for fundraising for the various charities that the teams are representing today.
All 3 teams are home. We might have 3 sweeps today.
Ooh, I can't believe you said that out loud. Oh, no.
Well, it looks like we got one almost there.
Well, and we did, all 3 teams won yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, so we do have and it's true, we don't always have all 3 teams at home on the same night.
And I think that middle game is going to be the toughest.
Right.
Just based on
And it should also be very, very exciting. You're going to see some very high-quality hockey. Again, UCO being ranked number 6 this year. They were the runners-up at the Nationals last year, and then they actually won the national championship in 2017. So they're, to put it mildly, a good team.
Yeah, and they don't lose very often.
And they don't lose very often.
Night. And I think Utah knows that a force is coming tonight.
Right, yeah. You can guarantee that UCO is going to come back today saying, all right, yeah, enough of that. We're not letting that one stand. All right, puck still in the Utah zone. Finally gets carried up by Harris. She sends it up. Tries to send it up to Shutt, but it gets by Shutt. And gets picked off by Sachs. Sachs is going to carry it across the blue line. She shoots from the circle.
Big hit.
And she gets taken down by a defender.
Stevenson absolutely laid a shoulder.
Stevenson is, it's funny. She doesn't look that big in person, but she is another one of those players, kind of like Shutt, who's very strong. You don't want to run into her unless you've been to the, doing a little bit of strength conditioning yourself.
Yeah, Goldenberg was limping off the ice.
Uh-oh, I didn't see that. I hope she's okay.
I think she lost a glove, too.
Kind of a bit of a yard sale.
Yeah. Another.
We have another collision. All right, puck ends up in the corner. Looks like that's going to be Wallace. No, sorry. Yeah, Wallace and Stevenson. Puck kind of comes out the other side. By picks it up. Sends a pass up to Harris. And it's time for a change, so Harris just dumps it into the Colorado zone. Got fresh Utah legs on the ice.
That's physicality we haven't really seen this weekend. And I know that might be because of the rules where those big hits are resulting in penalties.
Yeah, so you won't see the big hits, but definitely, as you can tell, right, that doesn't mean, like, no full body check doesn't mean no collision.
Right.
And doesn't mean, no physical play. But I have to say, right, it's been clean stuff. It hasn't been this chippy stuff, like stupid stuff after the whistle, behind the back kind of thing. It's just hard physical play. And it really speaks to, I'm old, and it really speaks to how far women's athletics has come along. And I have to tell you, I'm quite proud of the gals now who are competing at these, high levels of athletics. It really warms my heart to see women playing hard physical athletics.
Right. And, Utah, like we talked about, on the brink of, making postseason in the league. Should definitely do that tonight with the win. But I guess we got a long way to go, but Colorado's got to do a lot more.
Right. Well, and I think, too, it also speaks to the fact that, Utah is playing in a women's league, and the quality of the entire league's play, right, is very high. I was talking to head coach Braden Yo again, and she said that, she just has seen that year after year, the quality of play gets better all the way around. It's like the old saying of, like, the high tide floats all boats. The quality of play is improving every year for the entire league, across the entire league. And, of course, you have your ups and downs. You have your teams who are struggling. But for the most part, she's seeing that kind of that median rise, which is really encouraging to see.
Right, and, everyone in this league is chasing Arizona State.
Of course, yes. And then there's Arizona State, who's in a league of their own.
And they beat Minnesota last night 4-1. And Minnesota, with a losing record this year, not holding their high hopes like they usually do.
Okay. But still, a Midwest team. Now, kind of like the men's, the powerhouse in the ACHA for the women is the Lindenwood program out there in the Midwest. Oh, nice shot goes wide by, looks like Amal Eichel.
Yeah, and that was just a one-timer. That was a one-game Minnesota and ASU. So ASU doesn't play today, but they advanced to 14-3, I believe.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely ASU is the team that everyone's chasing this year.
12-4.
Yeah, everyone's chasing. And again, I asked Braden about the ASU team, and ASU has been very successful at recruiting high-quality talent, I think in part it's helped that Arizona State has not only ACHA hockey, but it also has NCAA hockey, and it helps when you're recruiting. But she says they've been very successful at recruiting women who are good enough to play at the NCAA level. Probably Division III. I mean, let's be honest about that. Probably Division III, but NCAA, that's not like chopped liver.
Right.
And so she was saying they did a really good job this offseason, and this season they came in and everyone was expecting that Arizona State was going to be the team to chase.
So, you know, Utah hosting Denver next weekend and then traveling to the University of Wyoming. We discussed it. Those should be 4 wins for Utah.
They should be, yeah.
And,
I mean, barring like them all, I don't know, spraining their ankles or something.
Yeah, and so that should be, if Utah does it all correctly and they execute, we should end the season on a 8-game win streak.
Which would be awfully nice, yeah. You know, again, with the women, just like the men, it's not just, and what's important is it's not just the win-loss record. There's also a goal differential that will come into play for seeding. So even though it does look bad when you see these blowouts, there's a reason that the teams are doing that, is that they realize that they can't just kind of coast on a win. They got to make sure they've got goal differential as well.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about Wyoming dead last in the rankings. Utah, you know, they went to Montana State, scored 26 goals in 2 games. Then they go to Wyoming. I think they'll put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, and you think about it, too, from a coaching standpoint. This is also a good chance to have some of your 3rd and 4th line players get more ice time, because you need all of them, right? Somebody gets hurt, somebody's having an off night. You don't want to have your 3rd and 4th line players who haven't played for, you know, like a month and a half or something. So I think that's the other thing to remember about these games where you're playing against a team who's clearly not going to be a stronger team. It's a good chance to keep on working on your plays and getting your, you know, other players, everyone involved in getting a good game, you know, getting some game time on the ice.
Well, you know, hockey's not like football for numerous reasons, but in terms of personnel, you know, football, you strictly have the same starters out there. But hockey, you know, we have line changes every 2 minutes, less than that.
And I can tell you, you can really notice that I'm a public address announcer. I've been a public address announcer for many years now. We don't announce substitutions for hockey for that reason, because they only are on the ice maybe 90 seconds and then they switch over. And it's 5 at a time, right? So they do flip over all the time. And like you said, it's not just like the same 5 out there the whole game. Or in soccer, for example, right, where pretty much you're going to have your core starters. First line is going to play a majority of the time on the field.
Right, and I mean, in the last World Cup, it was a big deal to have 5 subs for the whole game. The whole 90 minutes, you get 5 subs. Before that, it was 3. So subs are crucial in hockey because almost everyone is getting in.
Yeah, and it's almost like they're actually not subs. They're actually part of the whole team is like many different lines. Yeah. Yeah, it is an interesting difference between hockey and, say, football or soccer.
So again, that experience is so crucial, because if you have one weak link on the ice, you know, teams are going to see that and expose it.
Absolutely, especially the Arizona States. And you think about it, right? Arizona State is #1 in the WWCHL, but as I said, Lindenwood, right, is going to be tougher than Arizona. They're ranked higher than Arizona. I think it's on here. Maybe we can look and see what the rankings are. You've got Arizona State, the women, ranked at 11, right? So that means there's 10 other women's teams who are actually better than Arizona State. All right, so we have a whistle. We've been chatting away. We have a whistle. I guess we should probably try and figure out what just happened, because somebody is skating to the box, and it's going to be interference, and that is number 23. Atwood. Melina Atwood's going to sit for a couple of minutes. Colorado, have we seen Colorado going on power play today? I don't think so.
Utah or Colorado? Utah with a man up. But
I'm sorry, yes, Utah, Colorado on the penalty kill. Sorry. All right. And Utah sets up the box. And, oh, wow, nice follow-up by Crookshank. Tried to back it in. Great save by Beerbaum.
Yeah, so this is Colorado's 2nd penalty of the night. first one coming late in that second period.
Okay.
That's when we had both teams had a penalty.
Oh, that's right. We had offsetting penalties. So this is the first time.
Not really.
Yeah, kind of an unlike. Well, for 22 seconds. Yeah. All right. Now here comes Utah. It's going to be Caps. She's going to go across the blue line. She's got 2 to beat. Gets poke check loose by Wallace, and then it bounces around. Great pick up there. Wonderful follow-up by Ellsworth, and she's right there. She sees that puck, and that puck was bouncing. That is not an easy puck to knock in and get to go where you want to go when it's bouncing like that, because not only is it in the air, but it's typically not squared up with your blade, so you're going to hit it at an off angle. She did a great job, kept her eye on the puck, as they say, and in it goes. 5-0 at 7:33 left in the third period.
Yeah, so Utah, I think that's finally the nail in the coffin. You know, we saw early 2-0 after the first period, then 4-0, and here we are, first goal of the third period. But it's just been all Utah.
And I think this is, as you say, this is important now for Colorado to not get demoralized by this, to like make sure they keep their head in the game and keep playing their game, because that's the kind of thing that is, you know, pretty deflating when you have that happen. Now, it was a power play goal, so Utah did have an advantage, player advantage, extra player on the ice.
It's so crucial to take advantage of it. You know, yesterday we saw at least 4 power plays with no goal. And then Utah finally converting early in the third period. But being able to score when you're a man up is key to hockey.
I've kind of said it's kind of like giving somebody a 4th out in baseball. You don't want to waste that, you know, you've been given a gift and you don't want to waste that chance. Now, it's of course easier said than done, but it is important. I mean, you know, it's important to convert a certain percentage of those into goals. All right, we are now 6 minutes and 39 seconds in the period. Utah with, again, a commanding 5-0 lead. This is, again, important, and I think it will seal the deal, and Utah will indeed qualify for the postseason tournament, which, of course, is going to be happening in Boulder, Colorado, hosted by the Buffaloes. All right, here's a breakaway by Eichel. Amal Eichel. She gets tied up by the defender, and the puck comes loose. Wallace is fighting for it, finally gets picked up by, that's like number 27, I believe, Henderson. But she doesn't really have a lot of help, so Utah ends up with it. Stevenson tries to send it forward to Shutt, gets hung up in skates, and then gets picked up by Eichel. Oh, she makes a nice little move to get across the blue line, but then it gets scooped up by 23, that is Atwood.
You know, we talked about momentum, right? And that third period of yesterday's game, Utah scoring 3 goals. And look at us now. 5 goals in the second game.
But they've been spaced out across the whole game, unlike last night.
Dominant this whole game from Utah. And I think that can be accounted to yesterday's momentum built. Those 3 goals, third period to defeat Colorado, you know, no problem. And here we are again today, just complete team dominance defensively and offensively.
Ooh, nice little chance there, but it does bounce around a little bit. Furla sends it back in along behind the boards. Bit of a scrum there in front of the Utah bench, and finally it looks like Bonk is going to come up with it. She gets around one defender. She also has that was a very nice move, and the only thing that failed her was she flipped it up a little bit too high, but boy, she had a good chance there as well.
Yeah, and she's been kind of the standout Buffalo in this series.
And she's kind of been flirting with getting the goal, because she had one over here, same thing, it's just a little bit too high.
Yeah, her stick play has shined this series. Just Colorado can't, as a team, get goals strung together, even shots that are quality, and get them to the net. But she's definitely showcased her skills tonight and last night.
Yeah, no, she's definitely a player to watch. And speaking of which, she heard you. There she goes. You're her good luck charm. Oh, wait, no, she coughed it up. Oh, no, she retrieved it. She broke it up. Oh, no. Another shot, and it goes in.
Wow.
I think she owes you a beer, man.
I don't think they're going to give her the goal.
Oh, you think he blew the whistle?
I think someone else tapped it in.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it, what happened is Griswold made the save, then it trickled down. It dropped down from her, and then trickled between her legs and past her.
Yeah, Yeah, so I don't.
We might have to check the electronic scoreboard, but you know, it was interesting because we were just talking about how impressed we were with Bonk's play, and then sure enough, she picked up that puck, and pretty much she had to work that through by herself. She like bounced it off a defender, then picked it up, and then skated it past another defender, then picked up the rebound off the goalie, and then.
Well, you know, it's interesting because I think she whiffed on her first attempt.
She did whiff on the first one and picked that one up really quickly.
Play. You know, it's kind of like a fake out. She gets it again and gets it to go. Let's see what.
The scoreboard, the official stats keeper.
We're still getting there. And we got a penalty.
And we do. And it's going to be Ava Kistner is going to sit for 2 minutes. She's being penalized for slashing. So now Utah is going to be on the penalty kill. And
so they didn't give it to Bonk.
Who they give it to? She gets the assist.
Yes, Sandstra.
Okay, so she was there, and of course that's important. She was there for the rebound.
Yeah,
you know, to tap it in.
I think it would have gone in anyways.
Right. She was kind of making sure that there was no chance someone could stop it because it was going in. It was trickling, rolling very slowly.
Yeah.
All right. So now Utah on the penalty kill. Raymond scoops it up behind her own net. Colorado, you know, Colorado's showing a lot of poise here, setting up this power play. They're not rushing themselves. They're setting up their play, set up their box.
Yeah.
Raymond.
You know, we talked about yesterday's game. Colorado was down 3-0. They pulled their goalie. And you said they've got to do something to build momentum. You know, 3 minutes left. That was an important goal for them. They did not want to come to Salt Lake and get shut out.
Absolutely.
And, you know, these past couple of minutes, they've looked better. Whether it's Utah's lack of urgency anymore or Colorado just wanting to get it together. But that was important for them.
Right, and I think that is important always, right? Because you should never give up. You know, it's a cliche, but it's not over until the buzzer sounds. All right, Colorado again setting up their box. 45 seconds left in the Utah penalty. Colorado set up their box. Oh, nice their shot, nice chance there. Just gets by Sandstra. Or sorry, just gets by Atwood, I'm sorry. All right, here she comes. Bonk's bearing down, and oh no, offsides. Bonk had an opportunity there. She actually had an opportunity. If she just had to get by one defender, she could go one-on-one with the goalie. However, her teammate crossed the line first, so it's going to be face-off just outside the blue line. There's 30 seconds left still in the Colorado advantage. Teams decide to go and get some fresh legs on the ice. Or not. Trying to figure out, I thought they were able to make a change. I thought they were allowed to make a change, but maybe the officials waving at him saying, nope, you have to stay on the ice. Well, nonetheless, we have a face-off. Yes. Furla facing off against, looks like, Hansen.
Yeah, so Colorado's now going to have a one-game home, one-game away versus Colorado State. And Colorado State, Utah beat them 4-2 and then 8-2. So Colorado has the chance to bounce back. That's going to
be a critical series for them.
They have to sweep it. That cannot be a split series for them.
And Colorado State has really come up this year. They were not nearly as good last year. They've gotten better this year. They have a ways to go, I think, still. But yeah, they're not going to be a pushover either. It's not going to be like playing against poor Wyoming where, there's going to be a blowout.
Well, guess what? They're playing Wyoming tonight.
Guess what? We have another Utah player in the box, and the call is going to be, and we also have a timeout being called by Colorado, but another Utah player in the box, it's Hansen, and Hansen's going to go 2 minutes for roughing. Oh, sorry, Kistner.
Kistner was the first one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at 24, 14, 11, 14. My brain is like on fire. Yes, Hansen. I was right the first time. 2 minutes for roughing.
Yeah, so Colorado State won 13-0 last night against Wyoming.
Okay.
They play again tonight, and that's big momentum builder for them.
Right. And they're also in the chase to qualify for postseason. And I think this is interesting because it's not a lot of time. 8 seconds. Colorado's going to have a 2-player advantage for 8 seconds, and they should be getting the face-off in the Utah zone.
Yeah.
So 8 seconds is enough time to, if you get yourself set up well enough to score a goal.
Yeah, so Colorado State right behind Utah both won yesterday. Utah wins today. Colorado State, better chance than not to win today.
Right, right.
So, yeah, they're right neck and neck, those two teams.
All right, here we go. And the PA announcer's playing like suspenseful music. It's the final countdown. And Utah clears. Not only that, but you do notice they pulled the goalie. So they had the two-player advantage from the penalty, and they actually, for a brief moment of time, had 3.
And she's not ready to come back out.
And she's not coming back out. So Colorado's really going for all or nothing. They're going for broke here. There's 1:32 left in the game. 1:38 left on the penalty. That puck is not going to go in.
That was close.
That puck is not going to go in, but they're basically going for broke here with keeping an extra skater in the ice, but an empty net on the Colorado side. Gutsy play, gutsy call.
It's curious how they changed lines when they were pushing the attack. It's almost like, why do you have more players out there if you're going to change lines and attack when you don't have that advantage?
I think it's the empty net because you can't afford to make that line change if there's any chance for the puck going the other way. So as soon as they start to see, all right, we got a chance, they may even dump it and then try and change. I think it's only because of the empty net, which is why it looks weird. Oh, we have offsides. That's one of the problems with having an extra skater in the ice. You got to make sure you don't cross the blue line too fast. 57 seconds left in the Utah penalty. 1 minute, 10 seconds left in the game. Utah leading Colorado 5-1.
So Beerbaum seemingly out for the night with just 70 seconds left. Last night gave up 3, tonight 5. This is probably a series to forget from her.
Probably, although I would be curious to see what her shots on goal are because she has faced a lot of shots. All right, Colorado really struggling to try and keep that puck in the Utah zone and get something set up, and they're just not having very much success getting their box set up here. Goldenberg finally gets it, skates to the circle, gets by 1. She goes a straight point-blank shot, saved by Griswold. Now centering shot all the way across.
Wow.
Wallace goes for a shot. Now here comes Bonk off the crossbar. Bonk almost had one. Off the crossbar, Wallace, and boy, Colorado's certainly doing what they're supposed to. They are not giving up. They are just putting the pressure on Utah in these final 25 seconds of this game.
Nestle essentially got a 6-on-4 here.
Right.
Colorado's.
Oh, big hit from Stevenson on number 11 right there in the crease, McCloskey. And now Utah's back to full strength. Hankson has got the puck in front of her. She's got one player to beat. And then she gets hung up, and we have a penalty. Yep.
Wow.
That's going to be boarding.
She got clocked.
Yeah, she got clocked. And 2.7 seconds left in the game, so essentially she's going to go in and come right back out.
Michaela Torrey. She's crushed her. Sorry, Amanda Wallace. Torrey on Utah.
It's okay, I do that all the time. All right, so just 2.7 seconds left.
And here comes
done deal.
Beerbaum.
And of course, Beerbaum's going to stay in because, of course, it's like they're right in front of her goal. No point in like adding insult to injury. The final score is probably going to stay as it is unless Utah can pull something off right off the face-off. And that is it. Horn sounds. Utah sweeps the series against Colorado. Tonight, it's 5-1. And like I said, don't go away. We're going to be having men's action. It's going to be the men's one hosting University of Central Oklahoma. But Jacob, what do you say? What did you wrap up?
Utah looked really good this weekend, coming off of 2 dominant victories at Montana State. Colorado, not nearly, down in the rankings like Montana State and Wyoming. So Utah to come out and dominate 2 games in a row, big momentum builder for this team. And Colorado, you got to look on past this. You can't focus on this. You go and play Colorado State, both at Colorado State and back home in Boulder. Those are must-wins for them.
Absolutely. Well said. All right, folks, we are going to take a break. I'll be back with my stalwart partner and gracious senior Patrick McGann for the men's 1 game, and then Jacob will be joining Patrick for the men's 2 game at 7:30. So don't go away or go grab something to eat. Come on back and join us again.